Hey everybody, it's Kim Danke, the Shibboleth new member fast track instructor, and I'm so glad that you are here with me tonight. So I got two things going. I've got Zoom going and I have Facebook going. If you are on Facebook, please take a second just to say hello. Let me know that you're there. Give a few hearts, a few likes, and it would absolutely be fabulous if you would click the share button and let people know what we have to offer in the Shibboleth lifestyle. If you are in the Zoom room, please set your chat to everyone. Now, where you do that is you click where your chat is, and then you'll see where it says to. You click there and then you choose the option for everyone. That way everybody can see what you type into the chat. So thank you for being here. Thank you so much for joining us. Shibboleth is a weight loss and wellness ministry. Now, it's a ministry, but I actually like to call it a management system. I call it a management system. I needed a way to manage food. I did not need food to manage me, which is what it was doing. I needed a way for myself to manage it. And that's what Shibboleth is. If you are not a member yet, you can get a membership at shibbolethdeals.com, and Travis extended the $79 price, so that's still what it is today. So you could get that, and that's a lifetime. You would never have to pay again. Hey, Diane, glad you're here. And thank you for sharing too. I love it. I love it. I appreciate that. Hey, Angelia, put an extra N in there today. Hello from Western North Carolina. We're glad that you're here too. Hey, Candace, thanks for coming back. Thanks for coming back. And thanks for tagging, Diane. That's awesome. Okay, so Shibboleth is a management system. If you do not have a membership yet, go ahead and grab your membership. But first class is always free. So you can watch what we're doing tonight because I'm going to go over the food library, and I love the food library. This is one of those things that I desperately needed before I started Shibboleth. Hey, Lisa, glad you're here. Awesome. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started tonight. And I have this already set up to go directly to fast track lap number 3. Now, the educational system that we have set up for you to learn the Shibboleth lifestyle, we call it fast track. And because you're on a track and when people are racing, they go around the laps, we've just themed it. Lap 1, lap 2, lap 3, and so forth. There's 7 laps because if you spent a day each day this week learning a little bit, by the end of the week, you'll have a good foundation of the lifestyle. But I saw on Facebook recently a post, and a person said, I don't understand why we have to do so much to get started. And I commented back, you don't have to do any of this to get started. All you have to do to get started is start getting in 64 ounces of water every single day, writing down the foods that you eat every single day, eating in a way that controls insulin. And I do feel like you might need this one, to learn how to do that, but you could do your very best you could. Portion control and timing. See, out of those 5 things that we do every single day, only one of them has to do with food. Getting in 64 ounces at a minimum of water, writing your food down, eating no more food than what fits underneath your 2 hands, and giving yourself 4 to 6 hours between meals. And if you had a moment of mental weakness, you used a freebie, an extra, or a snack. That's it. If you just start applying that every day and you can make it work without doing any of this, you don't need to do any of this. But most people do need a little extra education, because what's going to happen is people get curious. Why am I eating that with that? Why are they telling me to do this, that, and the other? So we have a curriculum, and you can simply walk your way through it. Also, in the welcome email that a new member gets, it just directs them to Fast Track. We don't have all of the new member documents in Fast Track. I mean, in the email anymore. They're all right there in lap 1. So it's just an organized way to get started. And I don't know many people who get stuff started without looking at some information. And that's what we're doing in Fast Track. Okay, so this is just how you get started. Hey, Blair, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for tagging. That's awesome. Okay, so tonight we're going to start familiarizing ourselves with our food library. Now, the only way that a new member's food library is completely open to them is if they have taken the test and passed the test from the 14 little fast track videos. But I don't want people to get confused. The 14 little fast track videos is just part of the LAP system because it's not the whole thing. It's just part of it. Hi, can you hear the background noise? On my end, I've got background noise, Christine. I can't hear anything. Awesome, Diane. No, we can't hear anything on your end, Christine, because this is a webinar, not a meeting. So you're good. You're good if you've got background noise. We can't hear it. Okay, so in order to have the full food library open to you, you're going to need to have taking that little test at the end of the fast track. This is just saying, okay, do they understand the basics? Because if you don't understand the basics, you don't need to have the full giant food library, full giant recipe library, and full giant restaurant guide opened up to you. There should be a little bit of let me learn this before I have everything opened up. Hey, Michelle, glad you're here. So make sure you take that test so you have the whole thing. Oh, wow, Angelia. Yeah, there was a hurricane coming up through Alabama too. We got the tail end of it a little bit earlier. Yes, I will pray for that, Angelia. Okay, so before we go into the food library, I actually want to come down here and look at this. This one says to create your favorites in each category on your fast track worksheet. And before I talk about that, this little thing over here is a tutorial video. Okay, so if you want a little 20-minute video on that, you can watch that again. Most people, thank you, Diane. Diane says that she learns something every time she watches a video. And here's the thing, Diane, you may have heard it before, but at that moment, your brain couldn't take in that little piece of info. But then you took in some different information. Then you listen to another video, you take in some more information. Y'all, this is only the most important thing you could ever learn in life, how to take care of your body. You live in there. You live in there. You got to know how to take care of it so that you are happy living in there. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to look at this worksheet that I created. You can print this if you have access to the printer. Yes, Deb, and it sure helps to join the party and just to have fun. So if you have a printer, you can print this, but if you do not have a printer, you can just create this worksheet on a separate sheet of paper. So print and use the attached worksheet to begin creating lists of your personal favorite foods in each category. The great thing about this worksheet is that you can print or create as many as you need. So for example, I have made this suggestion to people, create 3 to start. 1 all focused on breakfast stuff. Another one all focused on lunch, another one all focused on dinner to create your meals. If you don't have a printer, you can use the idea of the worksheet for a template and create this on your own paper. So I'm going to go ahead and read this last task here. And then when I open up the worksheet, we'll kind of go over the whole thing. This last task here is to fill in the worksheet to create your first simple meals. So we're going to click on those. So in order to check that box off that you have created your favorites lists, you literally write down 10 lean proteins that you're willing to eat. You write down 10 fibrous carbs that you're willing to eat. Now, where do you find these lean proteins and fibrous carbs? Well, in your welcome guide, there were suggestions. In Travis's Fast Start Meal Ideas, there's suggestions. In the new member food library, there's suggestions. In your new member suggested grocery list, there's suggestions. So you look through those things and you write out the the foods that you like in all of these categories. Once you have written out your favorites, you can just check this box right here. Okay. Then right down here, you're going to create meals. You're going to create a lean protein meal and a fibrous carb. So you've got a lean protein or shellfish and a fibrous carb. And the reason it's got MCT right there, we've talked about MCT on the Sunday night and Monday night. Hey, Michelle, glad you're here. You can write MCT right there if you're going to cook it up in MCT. For example, if you wrote chicken breast here and broccoli, you could cook that up in MCT oil. But if you wrote Oikos 000 yogurt right there and some hemp flakes, you're probably not going to use MCT oil for that. So you could just draw a little line through that, okay? But maybe you were going to use a condiment with that, maybe a little small palmful of berries. You might want to write that right there. The MCT is just there to remind you that if you're cooking it up and you want to use the oil that would make the item be the fastest fat burning combination, then you would use MCT oil. And then over here on the right, this is just giving you a spot where you can build a lean protein, a fibrous carb, and an energy carb meal. This one is a lean protein, a fibrous carb, and a fruit meal. This one is a protein plus fat and fibrous carb, and this one's a superfood and fibrous carb. And this doesn't even include all of the different categories. This is just some to get you thinking, okay? But you can create as many as you need to on a separate sheet of paper. So once you have filled in these 7 and all of these, then you simply check this box right here, okay? And then right here where it says freebies, extras, snacks, and MRs, MR stands for meal replacement. Freebies, extras, snacks, and meal replacements. We're going to go over those on Thursday night. On Thursday night, we're going to talk about all of those. Now, if you get super excited and you move ahead in the laps, is that okay? Yeah. It's totally fine. You just go and look and you can read the little task box and then you do it and then you click it off that you've done it. You can move ahead. It's totally fine. But I'll be here every night at 7:30 to go over something new. So we'll do that on another night. So now we've got those 2 boxes checked off already. Well, now I'm going to just kind of hit the timing chart before we get into that food library, because that food library is fun. It's fun to get in there and start playing around. So we're gonna save that one for last. The timing chart is absolutely one of my favorite tools on the website. It gives me a non-scale visual, of whether or not I'm truly doing the absolute best that I can do. And I've utilized it from the very, very beginning. Okay, so let's read what this says. You're going to click on your weekly timing chart. Let me scoot up just a bit, which is actually right here. So the black box is telling you that you're going to click right there, because the link in this task is to a video on how to use your timing chart to your benefit. It's just a little 4-minute video I made one day. Your timing chart is going to be an extremely valuable tool for you. It is a great visual as to whether or not you're doing your best. On your first and second perfect days, you're going to see a green check. Because remember, on Sunday night, we talked about the fact that it takes 2 perfect Shibboleth days to get you into efficient fat burning on the 3rd day. On the 3rd day, when you mark that you're having a perfect day, the computer system knows that it's your 3rd perfect day, and it's going to give you a flame representing EFB, baby, efficient fat burning. And then your body is going to be in a state where it's going to burn fat efficiently. That's what we're wanting to do. We want to efficiently burn fat. All fat is stored energy. It's energy. If I get our body into a spot where, it needs energy all the time, where it uses stored energy as the energy rather than giving it the wrong things in food, that's how you lose weight. You get an optimized environment going on in your body. And what we teach you is how to do that. You know, one of the reasons that I love teaching this, because I want you to understand why you're doing what you do every day and how you need to make those changes. I think it's important to talk about. Okay, I'm going to click here real quick just to show you what it looks like when you click there. When you click there, it's going to go to a video that I made one day at the Shibby shop. I was just sitting down doing a little lesson, and it's only like 4 minutes and 28 seconds long. Okay, so that's that. But what we're going to do now is we're going to click on this weekly timing chart. And I actually ended up with a holiday today, so I'm going to redo that. We went out to dinner and I decided to have a holiday. Okay, but where I want to show you is I want to go back to the very beginning, because what I do now is not what you need to be doing now. So for me to really show you something that is parallel to the journey that you're currently having, I got to go back to my very, very beginning. Okay, so I started Shibboleth on April 10th, 2019. I got 2 green checks. That is my first and second perfect day. When I went into the journal to journal my third perfect day, the computer automatically gave me a flame. Okay, now you've got this W. I entered a weight. This number right here was my motivation for doing the lifestyle. Look at that. I was like, I don't know how motivated I am. I don't know how motivated I am. And it started going up, and then, yeah. So that's what that number is. Let's look at these symbols. So E means that you did an exercise challenge. W means that you made a weight entry. P, you added a progress photo. M, you updated your measurements. C, you participated in a challenge. J, you requested a journal review, and the number would indicate your motivational level. So that's what those little gray boxes are. So I want my timing chart filled in. I use this as a visual as to how well I'm doing. So this is my first 2 perfect days, and you can see you want to then string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can. And I got me a nice little flame streak going right there, okay? And a Bible verse will pop up for each day every time you hover your mouse over that. And then what happens right here was, this is a holiday. This was Easter, and I went to Alabama for Easter, and I wanted to eat good old Alabama food from my stepmother. She makes the best food ever. And so I wanted to eat, therefore I did. But now I know what to do after a holiday. I just get right back to business. Diane is asking, how do we add a progress photo? It's in your journal. You know what, Diane, we'll look at that in just a second, and I'll show you how. So I got right back to business, and look, I had a perfect day. Well, see this little icon right here? That means I had an intermittent fasting day. Intermittent fasting day. So while I was on holiday in Alabama, I was still continuing to watch videos, and I learned about intermittent fasting. So I started doing that, and now most days are intermittent fasting days. If I'm having a perfect day, it's typically an intermittent fasting day, because at its minimum, it's just 12 hours without eating, and you can use your overnight sleeping time. Typically, I get 16 hours a night, sometimes 17, but most of the time 16. And then look right there, there's a flame, and there says wow. We're going to talk about wow challenges on Friday night, but I did a wow challenge that day, and that day I probably also intermittent fasted as well, but the little icon only gives you one of those, and the wow challenge will trump the IMF one. So on the image. So then I'm getting back to business, okay? And in that time frame, I lost 12.5 pounds, which was great. So then I go to my next month, and this is where I had already very, very early on in my Shibboleth lifestyle started asking myself 3 questions. Am I going, so I plan my month. Remember earlier when I said it's a management system, Shibboleth is a management system. How do you manage things? You look at a month, People plan their months out. They look at a week, they look at a day, and then if we're eating properly, we look at a meal and manage that meal. So we're managing all of this. And so I looked at the month of May and I asked myself 3 questions. Am I going out of town? Well, the answer in this month was yes, we were going to a wedding. So this was a weekend away for a wedding. And then I said, okay, are there any birthdays, anniversaries, or other holidays? Well, Mother's Day was in that, but you know what? I can go to Longhorn and have a perfect Mother's Day. I wasn't worried about having a holiday on Mother's Day. And so I had all perfect days leading up to that time right there. And I think at that point I'd lost like 24 pounds or something, which was great. It was awesome. And then I got right back to business. Now you'll notice there's no green check. There's just an IMF symbol. If you IMF, it's supposed to get you back into efficient fat burning faster. But in my mind, this is just me, and I think it's a good strategy. But in my mind, no matter whether or I'm intermittent fasting or not, I just consider this perfect day, back in EFB. I let the symbols be the way the system does it. But in my mind, I think green check, EFB. Because after 3 holidays in a row, and I have 1 intermittent fasting day, and I think, ooh, I'm back in EFB. I probably have lost all that weight I gained over the weekend by that day, and I don't see it. You could get disappointed, but you're going to start seeing something on this day for sure. So that's why I just think in my head, green check, EFB. Does that make sense to everybody? But that's just the way that I mentally think about it. And then I got back to business. Well, then here comes June. I just decided I want this off. And I just kept working along. I wasn't going in out of town. Father's Day was this month, but there weren't any other holidays or anything like that. And so I just had perfect days. July comes along. I wasn't going out of town. The food that we're eating is good food. I wasn't deprived. I didn't feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not enjoying myself. Now, when July came here, I thought, you know what? July 4th, that'll be a good day. I'll have a holiday that day. Well, then when I started thinking through what I was going to eat, every bit of it could be made approved. So I thought, well, what I had been doing was I was eating 3 meals a day. I was doing no freebies, extras, or snacks. I wanted this taken care of. I wanted it done. And what I did on July 4th was I added a freebie. No, excuse me, I did not add a freebie. I added an extra and a snack. Guess what it felt like? Felt like a holiday, but it wasn't. I was still in EFB. So that's a good thing. So mid-month here, I actually hit my victory goal. I wanted to lose 35.5 pounds. I lost that in about 3 months. And then I thought, I'm going to maintain it 150. That's going to be what it is. Well, I was slightly terrified to take a holiday because I thought, oh, we're going to go down a slippery slope if I take a holiday. And then in August, I started taking the holidays. Well, I moved myself over to maintenance mode and I started having, little holidays here or there and whatever. I continued to do this and lost another 15 pounds for a 50-pound weight loss. I didn't even know I had 50 pounds to lose in the beginning. That just truly tells us that we do not know where our bodies should be. But I just let mine keep working. And I didn't go over my holidays, and I don't go over my holidays now. I'm not a cross the line kind of girl, because if I cross the line, who am I not being true to myself? And I do want to be true to myself, and I want to honor the Lord in doing this lifestyle. How can I honor him? By staying according to the standards. And this is the standards that we live by in Shibboleth. So that's what I stick with. So this is your timing chart. Now, how do you get to, let's go back over here. Let's look at this. Let's look at this right here. And I'm going to show, Diane has asked how you add a progress photo. I'm going to show that. So there's 2 views. Candace asks, how often do I weigh? I weigh pretty often, Candace. There will be a streak here or there where I go 3 or 4 days and I just forget to weigh. If I am trying to get to some little goal, or if it's after a holiday, you know, I'll weigh. Now, in the beginning, though, and I did weigh in the beginning pretty much every day. But if you can't handle weighing every day because of personality or something like that, or you're going to get down because, oh, the scale didn't show you what you wanted to see after you really sacrificed the day before. Because, see, when we sacrifice things that we want to eat and things we want to do, we expect to see results. And if the scale doesn't give us those results, it can be a letdown. And if you let that letdown get you bummed out and you start eating food, then that would be silly. So if you are a person who's going to get down over like a little uptick in weight, you don't want to weigh daily. Weekly would be best, and typically on a Wednesday, because if you had any holidays over the weekend, you're back to good, you know, by Wednesday morning, hopefully. So Wednesday would be good. And a scale, we like to say the scale lies, Candace. Because if you have eaten, let's say that you had popcorn as a snack that evening before, well, 2 to 3 grams of water will attach itself to 1 gram of carb. And you're still an efficient fat burning. It's just that you're going to have water in there weighing you down, and water weighs something on the scale. So it's really a personal preference, Candace. But I weigh enough to keep me motivated. You know, there's days where I like to stay. So I've lost 50 pounds, but that's actually kind of hard for me to keep. But I like getting that badge every once in a while. I try to stay between 135 and 139. And so I weigh, because then it kind of helps me determine and see where I am. And do I need to dial it in a little this day? Could I do something a little extra? You know, that type of thing. So, okay. So Diane, back to this. I don't know which view you all have chosen for your journal, but there's 2 views right here above the date. You've got the new view, and I'll click there. The new view is these little black tabs up here, and you can click on them to get to certain sections of your journal. And then if you come down here, you've got your food log, your favorite meals, favorite food, favorite recipes and stuff. Well, that's not my favorite view. I like the old view, because the old view, I can just scroll down and see everything without having to click on those extra tabs. But somebody asked for tabs, and so they gave it to them. So we come down here, and I'm not gonna go over all of that, but right here where it says photo, Diane, right here, you click choose file, and you would choose the file. This can be done from your phone. And most typically people have taken pictures on their phone. It's not on their computer, but you just click choose file, then you hit save photo. Whatever you do, every time you see the word save, click save. Please click save, because you don't, like, especially when you're typing in your foods that you ate, if you don't click save there, I mean, if you make it all the way down to the bottom and then you hit save, it's fine. But if in the process you pop off that page, what you typed in is gone. Okay. So I like to, wherever I see a save button, like save. If I put a picture in, I hit save. If I do all of that, I hit save. So I hit save wherever. So it's in your journal, Diane. That's where you'll add a progress photo. All right. So that has gone over the timing chart that you're going to use, and it's such a great visual. So once you just understand what that timing chart is used for, all you do is simply click this box right there, okay? Now we're going to start digging into the food library. Now, I'm kind of teachery. I don't know if y'all have figured that out about me yet, but I have a master's in education. I used to be a school teacher and a principal, so I pull out some educational activities, and this is developed, like, this is a curriculum. This is developed to build on top of each other. So if you'll trust the Fast Track LAP system and do it methodically, you'll be good to go in a week's time. Now, you already could have lost 7 to 10 pounds in a week's time. You know why? Because getting your water in, journaling, doing portion control, and timing help out so very, very much. And then you start applying all of the food combinations that you learn throughout the week, and you're going to have great results. So there's really Nothing to do on the website to get started. Just start doing those things. Okay. One of the best ways to begin to familiarize yourself with the food library is to do the following brainstorming activity. Take a sheet of white paper, blank sheet of paper, in no particular order, write down all of the foods that you eat, can think of, or eat on a regular basis. Whatever comes to your head, just boom, write it down. Boom, 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 write it down. Then look up each of those foods on your paper, look them up in the food library, and you'll see what category they go in. Write that number or the long name or the abbreviation next to each food item. Once you've done that, you're going to just organize those lists, and you can use that worksheet that I showed you earlier. You're going to organize your lists by categories. Now, as you are exploring the food library, I want you to heart all the food items that you think you might like to try or you already know that you like. Just go ahead and heart them. The reason that you heart them is because sometimes people can't find them again. And if you heart them, it pulls them off into your own personal food library. So the food library has between, I'm just going to say 6,000 to 7,000 items in it. That's a lot of items. Do you know that you don't need thousands of items? You just need the ones you like. So when you heart these items, it brings them into a smaller food library just for you that is also searchable. And the food library can be found, your personal favorite food library can be found in two places. It can be found in your journal, and it can be found in the food library. I'm going to show you that. Okay, so do you see right here where it says my favorites? Right there. If I click there, it would be a list of all the items I've hearted. And you can click there and then you can search. Well, we're not going to do that today. Okay, so anytime you come to a new page, read the information, read it for understanding. So this is talking about the filters that you can use. We'll look at some of those in just a second. And this also starts to talk about the weight loss meter. The weight loss meter is basically a secondary way to categorize foods. So the first way to categorize foods is category 1, lean protein, category 2, fibrous carb. So it's categorized according to its nutritional profile and its nutritional profile and how it responds in your body. That's how it makes it into energy carb or fruit or protein plus fat or superfood and so forth. But another way to kind of categorize foods is how good is this food for weight loss? So Travis developed a meter, like a weight loss meter. It goes from a -3 to a +3. 0, right in the center, not going to help you, not going to hurt you, but it's neutral. So if you want to do really, really well, negative numbers are better. Positive numbers, it will not take you out of EFB if you have a positive number food, but if you were to do those all the time, you probably wouldn't see the results that you wanted, okay? But it won't take you out of efficient fat burning. Negative numbers are better for weight loss. Travis kind of did it on the game of golf. So the lower the day, the better your weight loss day. So it was just kind of a fun thing that he did. How many of you just learned something new that Travis did that based on the game of golf? So when you're looking at this page, yay, Michelle, when you're looking at this page right here, when you're looking at it on a computer, thank you, Jennifer. When you're looking at it on a computer, you get two different views. You get the view where you see the lean proteins and you see a paragraph about them. You see the fibrous carbs, you see a paragraph about them. Read everything. Like I said earlier, this is only the most important thing you can know how to do in life. Eat in a way that either helps you lose weight and get well, or just if you don't need to lose weight, if you need to control diabetes or pre-diabetic conditions, there couldn't be anything more important than that. Because if you're not here on this earth, you're not here for other people. And so this is the most important thing that you can learn. So we can come down here And then you even have freebies. Look, we've got creamers listed and snacks and extras, meal replacements. We've got things we call perfect pairing items. What a perfect pairing is it's a combination that does not meet the rules of the regular combinations. But if you do it exactly as it is described, then it will work. And that's why we call it a perfect pairing. Let's see, Michelle says, how many servings of fruit are we allowed a day and how large are the servings? Okay, so Michelle, if you want to eat fruit in weight loss mode, it must be combined with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So technically, Michelle, you could have fruit 3 times a day. That would not be the best for weight loss because fruit is a natural sugar and it elevates your blood sugar. Your pancreas secretes insulin and your body has to deal with that. That's why you must eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So the fewer the fruit in the beginning, the better, Michelle. So better for weight loss if you were to not do fruit a ton. Once you get to maintenance, you can also have fruit as a snack if you wanted to, but if you're going to combine it, you need to eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. And the servings, Michelle, they change. Now, obviously, you don't want to eat any more food than will fit underneath your hands, okay? So you're talking like a quarter cup sometimes, but look in the food library for each fruit and they'll give you a general idea. And sometimes in the recipe library, they let you have a little bit more of something if you're doing it exactly like that is written, because they've looked at the whole nutrition of that particular recipe or suggested meal, and they know it'll work. So just, it's not a flat answer, Michelle. Let's say fruit with oikos yogurt with natural peanut butter. Okay, so I would not put fruit with peanut butter unless that fruit is, I mean, palm size, because you would have to call that a condiment, Michelle, because we don't eat fruit with superfoods. And peanut butter is a superfood. So the oikos yogurt is a 1 and natural peanut butter is a 6. And so you can do a 1 and a 6 together. So the fruit would have to be condiment size on that. Yeah, you're welcome. And then look, there's a whole thing on breads, low blood sugar snacks, phase 1 and phase 2 cereals. We didn't get to talk about that last night, so we're going to talk about that more tonight. Phase 2 frozen meal, phase 2 soups. Atkins is a real popular thing, so there's an entire link on that. Pizza is real popular, so there's an entire link on that. Flour and breading, milk, salad dressings, beverages, beer, wine, and liquor, spices and seasonings, your cooking oils and healthy fats, your gluten-free products, vitamins and supplements, other things, pre and post-workout freebies. There's your restaurant guide, although it's in another spot too. And then right over here, this is coach mode meals. I highly suggest that you click on coach mode meals and look at all of the different meal suggestions. This is a wonderful place to find very simple and easy and quick meals. All right, so that's coach mode meals. Let's see. My mother and I make jellies and jams with stevia. Probably, Angelia, probably. You might want to just ask the in the Shibboleth Fixed It group. Kim Shibboleth will look at that. But I mean, we do use good jam, which is a stevia sweetened jam. So yeah, I would say that it would be fine. Yeah, you just want to have yeah, I get that. I'm still thinking about the fact that fruit's just got natural sugar in it too. So I would still only say, Angelia, that should be used as a condiment with no more than 50 calories. So yes, I would say yes, but no more than 50 calories. Okay, Angelia? All right. So, but if you're on your phone looking at this, yeah, just in the Shibboleth Fixed It group, that's where you'll ask that question. But I would say condiment only, because you don't really use jellies for any other reasons and condiments. So it'll be fine with a condiment. It took me a second to think about that, Angelia. When you're looking at this on your phone, you're seeing it listed out like here because your phone doesn't have room for all of that space there. So this is how you see it listed out on your phone. And then we have a search bar. So let's say that you wanted to look for something very specific. Remember I said to write down on that list all the foods that you could think of. That's where you're going to type it. You're going to type it in the search bar and you're going to click the search and it's going to find it. Do you see this green button, add a new food? We actually don't want you to use that because it's got a backup on it. The Shibboleth Fixed It group is an easier way for Kim Shibboleth to keep track of all of that, all right? And by the way, I'm not Kim Shibboleth. There's two Kims, Kim Shibboleth and Kim Dankey. And just to let you know, Joni Shibboleth, Missy Shibboleth, Amy Shibboleth, and Kim Shibboleth are not family members. Shibboleth is not their last name. It's their first name and the name of the ministry so that they can have an extra Facebook persona to be able to work their business and be interactive with our members. So I know people always curious, oh, are they related? Nope. It's the business people. I thought the same thing. Okay, but what I want to do now is I'm going to go into lean protein. So it's generating a list. One of my favorite things about this is these filters. So if you needed something that was allergen free, or you needed dairy free, or you needed gluten free, or you need kosher, or you don't want artificial sweeteners, or you need soy free, or especially right here in lean proteins, if you're vegan or vegetarian, boom, boom, you use those filters because you've got to find your lean proteins that are going to work for you if you're a vegan or vegetarian. So there's your filters. These filters are brilliant. And there's your weight loss meter right there. See how it goes from a -3 to a +3. You've got this little slider line here. Do you see how where I have my mouse and it's giving me a range, -3 to 3? That's a 0. That's in the center. Not going to hurt you, not going to help you. Actually, that full range, I'm sorry, is from a -3 to a +3. But if I want to see what the best is for weight loss, I'm going to take that slider ball and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do -1 to -3. And then I hit the set button. It's going to regenerate my list of lean proteins. And it's going to only leave the ones in there that are -1 to -3. All right, so now I have my list. So when you're looking at this list, you can read it. This says 2 to 8 ounces of chicken breast. It's a -3. I've hearted it, right? I hearted it because I like chicken breast. 607 other people have said that they like this. And we're going to learn how to create a grocery list tomorrow night. But if you want to add this to your grocery list, you simply click there, choose a grocery list and add. Okay. And you can add it to your grocery list. So this next one, 2 to 8 ounces of pork tenderloin. Now in the blue box, it says it's a -2. So just out of curiosity, is chicken breast or pork tenderloin better for weight loss? Now, both of them are good because they're -2 and -3, but which would technically be just a little bit better? Chicken. That's right, Michelle, the chicken. So that's right, April. The lower the number, the better it is for weight loss. But y'all don't get hyper obsessed with that number, okay? Anything is down in the negatives are going to be good, but I just wanted to ask that. And then we got turkey breast right there. It's a -3 as well. Fish is a -3. And then, there's some hot dogs that are good. There's some lean ground beef and so forth. And you keep clicking. Now, last night we did not talk about pastas. I said we were going to talk about pasta today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scoot over here to my search bar and I'm going to type in pasta. So here's our pastas. I always go ahead and take this down here. I want to see the most negative numbers. Then I hit set, because you can always add a little bit. If your list isn't long enough, you can always say, oh, let me add a little bit more. But I want to start off with the best of the best. And how many of you like to look through giant lists of things? Not most people. So what you do is you make the list smaller and then you expand it if necessary. Let's see, April, do you add together everything you eat for the meal to get the net value of that meal? Let's see. So if you had -3, negative, I'm not sure, April, because I've heard Travis talk about this before. He's done a little talk on that before. But if you are having chicken breast, that's like say a -3, and you're having broccoli, that's also a -3. I would just call that a -3 meal. I wouldn't call that a -6 meal. I would just call that a -3 meal. Okay, so right here, one of the pastas that I mentioned last night was the Carbonata pasta. You're welcome. The Carbonata pasta. And the reason I like to talk to you about this particular pasta is look at the category that it's listed in. It's listed as a category 1 lean protein, a category 2 fibrous carb, and a category 3 energy carb. Do you know what that means? That means that it has lean protein properties, it's got fibrous carb properties, and energy carb properties. So we have to use this as such. This is actually a 1, 2, and 3 together, which is an approved combination. So you could just eat this by itself if you wanted to. Now, there's a couple of things I want to point out right here. If you really like this product, you can come in here and rate it. You can give some star ratings for it. It's a -1 on the weight loss meter. You want to add it to a grocery list, which we'll talk more about tomorrow, but that's how you add it to a grocery list once you've opened up the listing. And there's your little heart. There's your heart. And 311 other people have hearted it. It says find it in our store. If you want to support our little store, which we certainly appreciate, then you click on the green button, you put it in your cart, and you can add it to your cart. Is this one? Yeah. So you've got 2 different choices. Well, we're out of the egg fettuccine pasta, but we've got the roasted garlic fettuccine. You just add it to your cart. All members get 20% off, and all orders over $30 shipped to you for free. Okay, well, so we just added that to the cart. If you wanted to support Amazon, you go right there on the green thing on Amazon. Now, we like for you to support us because we are run as a little ministry. We don't charge much to get in, and then we give you options if there's other little things that you wanted to get from us, but you can buy this stuff from wherever too. I just like to encourage people to help us out a little bit. But here's the cool thing about shopping on Amazon. So if you need to buy things from Amazon, if you literally go through this link, you don't even have to add that Carbonata pasta to your cart on Amazon. And then all the other things you put in your cart, Shibboleth will get like 2 cents on the dollar, 2 to 4 cents on the dollar, depending on the item, back. So we get, like $100 or something a month on that. And so I have one saved. I just always click through that link to get to my Amazon cart. But I don't never even put that product hardly in there. It's usually I need some makeup primer or something like that that I'm buying on Amazon. So this says that you can use 1.5 cups, up to 1.5 cups of this. And then come down here, you've got a description. Always read the description. Always read the description. And then if we come a little bit lower, look at all of the recipes that have the Carbonata pasta in it. Look at all that. Now we're going to talk about recipes more tomorrow night, so I'm not going to dig into it, but I do want to show you. And there's 2 pages of recipes that include that. And then if you come down a little bit further, look, all the people, this is not Shibboleth generated. This where to buy is member generated. So members have said they bought it at Meijer and Ingles, Shibboleth online, all Shibboleth stores, Rouse's, Publix, Kroger. So you can get this really a lot of different places. All right. Now this carbonata, I'm going to ask an application question. This has got lean protein, fibrous carbs, and energy carbs properties. If you want to eat some meat with this product, which category are you not going to pull that meat from? Yeah, that's right, Michelle. You're not gonna, and that's awesome, Candace. Y'all are applying the information. That was an application question. Okay. So you're not gonna pull it from a 4 because of the 3 right here. That energy carb is going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin. And remember, insulin is a fat storage growth hormone. So if you eat it with a protein plus fat, the category 4, it's just going to store the fat in it. But if you want some meat with this, you could totally get it from category 1 or category 7. That's fine. You could even add little broccoli pieces or whatever kind of other little things with it. You can do that. So you can add some more, your meat from 1, maybe a little vegetables from 2. You can do that. You're still not going to do more than 1.5 cups with that other stuff added, but you can do that. So this is a great pasta. So let's go back another page and look at our other options for pastas, because there are some that don't have even energy carb categories in them. So this Explore Cuisine pasta is really, really good. So there's a black bean one. And I actually thought, I don't want to eat edamame spaghetti pasta. That was my initial thought. But I like black beans, so let me eat the black bean one. And I did. I started off with the black bean one. But let me just tell you, I prefer this one. And if you have a family that you're cooking for, this one looks more like the color of regular pasta, where the black bean one doesn't, because it's darker. But look right here. Category 1, lean protein, and category 2, fibrous carb. We do sell this in our store. I'm not sure why that doesn't have a button right there. But look, it's a -3. It's a -3 on the weight loss meter. It's got lean protein and fibrous carbs in it. So if you want some meat, you can pull it from category 1, 4, or 7, because 1 would be just some extra 1 right there. 7 would just be really an extra lean protein. And a 4, you can do a lean protein and a protein plus fat and a fibrous carb. That's an approved combination. If you come on down here, you've got some linked recipes right there. And then it tells you can get this at Sprouts and the Shibboleth stores. So this is really good. Now there's one more I want to talk with you about, and it's not here on this list because it was not in that range that I picked. I picked a negative range. I'm going to take this little ball and I'm going to slide it up to a 0. I'm expanding my list just a little bit. And it should add Fiber Gourmet. Fiber Gourmet. Fiber Gourmet is a category 2. Let's see. There it is. Okay. This is a category 2 pasta, which is great. It's a 0 on the weight loss meter. So which one would be better? That last one I just showed. But the reason that this one is so very, very popular is it has the exact same texture of the other ones. But I want you to notice this is a 0 on the weight loss meter. Not going to help you, not going to hurt you. But if you've got a family you're fixing things for, then you might want to buy this one. Okay, so you've got to make those decisions. Still going to be better than some of the other things that are out there. And look, here is some recipes that are connected to it. And you can buy that from our store as well. Linked right there. Okay, so I'm going to take 3. Actually, I don't have time for 3. I'm going to take 2. two things. Y'all throw me something up in the chat, either on Facebook or the Zoom, and we're going to look up two things. Okay, Michelle says, are all the foods in the library available in your store? No, most foods, Michelle, are available at the grocery store. Most all the foods are available at the grocery store. What Shibboleth carries are the specialty items that just aren't easily found in the grocery store, but that we've found over 20 years of time. These are the things that kind of fill those voids that we like an approved Pop-Tart or an approved pasta like this. And yeah, so what we carry are specialty things that just aren't easily found in other grocery stores. Now, I'm not saying they're not ever found in other grocery stores. They're just, we offer them all in one little area for convenience purposes. Gluten-free, Deborah, gluten-free pasta. Okay, awesome. I'm going to put pasta back in. That's perfect. I'm going to put pasta in. Yes, Patricia says, can you have a sauce with pasta? Yeah, you just make sure that the sauce is an approved condiment and you just don't use more than 50 calories. Okay, so Deborah, this is what I did. I searched for pasta again, and then watch this. Here's my gluten-free filter. I'm gonna click it. Now, I didn't change my weight loss meter yet because, you know, when you click gluten-free, it's gonna narrow the list a lot anyway. Okay, so there's all of our gluten-free pastas. Amen. Look at that, Deborah. And then basically at that point in time, that's when I'm going to slide that slider ball down to like -1, -3. I'm going to pick the best of the best. And then if that's not what I end up liking, I'm going to expand my list just a little bit more and try a new item. But there's those Explore Cuisine pastas right here. So yeah, there's your pastas. There's your gluten-free pastas. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so nobody threw anything up there in the list. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to talk about these cereals because we didn't talk about this. Phase 1 cereal. Just know that if you see the words phase 1, it's the higher quality items. You know, so this cereal is one of my absolute favorites. It's AHS. AHS stands for Advanced Health Systems. This is a cinnamon crisp cereal, and I like it because it's portion controlled. We really can't get in trouble over pouring. So that's a good one right there. And they even have some Special K, the protein kind. There's Kellogg's All Brand. You know, there's some things on here that you recognize from the store. Other things, this is like a nutritional adventure. You're going to see these things. You're going to look at the box when you click on them and you're going to go, you know what, I want to try that. And you're going to find it and you're going to see if you like it. But look at this. You're actually getting some negative numbers in here, which is pretty good for a cereal. So you actually can have some of these cereals alone without milk. And most cereal we would not ever suggest that you have alone. Some of these you can because they are super high quality, but you need to read the description on them first. Never make blanket statements about anything. Go to the food library on that particular item and read about that item. See, that's the beauty of having Shibboleth Food Library, is you no longer have to wander in the grocery store or wonder in here if it's going to work. We tell you, and then you just go by that. But if we come down here to, oh, I know what I was going to say, but you can technically, with these phase 1 cereals, you can have any approved milk. But let's talk about phase 2 cereals. Phase 2 cereals. Going to click on that list. And it's generating. Okay, phase 2 cereal. Phase 2 does not mean that you elevated yourself to a higher quality of food. All that means is that we kind of opened up more variety in the inner aisles of the grocery store. So you got to know that we didn't get better with Captain Crunch. We didn't get better with Reese Puffs. We didn't get better with that. When you are eating one, and look at all these cereals, 0, 0, 0, you know, not going to help you, not going to hurt you. When you're having one of these cereals, it must be eaten with the lean protein milk, either Kroger Carb Master if you have it near you, or Fat Free Fairlife. You can't eat it with the other because this cereal is still starchy and you don't want to collect fat and you need the protein to offset it with that milk. So that's why you need that milk when you go there. And then look right here, phase 2 frozen meals and phase 2 soups. That just means you're getting a little bit more variety. Technically, you can have anything in the food library from the very beginning. You can have it all. But if you'll go by the combination chart that is in lap 1, it does leave off energy, carbs, and fruit. And I show you the advanced combination chart that's coming Friday night. You can go ahead and look at it now if you want to, because technically you can use everything from the beginning. But there's really these nuances of what's going to get you the best results, okay? All right, we're going to hop off of here right now. Travis Martin, our founder, is going to be interviewing Alicia Edwards and Joey Edwards right now on the Travis Martin's weight loss page on Facebook. If you are a member, click here though on the pink online webinars tab, and then where it says how I overcame food addiction and lost weight, click right there and register. You actually get a badge for every class that you register for, and you get an increasing number on your badge. You spend at least 20 minutes there, okay? If you've been listening tonight and you are not a member, please know that you're our special guest, and we just thank you so much for being here. If you want to get a membership, you go to shibbolethdeals.com. shibbolethdeals.com. Currently it's $79 for a lifetime, and that's going to be the best deal ever, the absolute best deal ever. And if you heard about Shibboleth from a person, please type in their first and last name. Y'all, I'll see you in the morning on the Shibby show, and it's about 7:30, 7:40-ish on the Shibboleth public page, and back here tomorrow night at 7:30 for lap 4. Thank you, Phyllis. Let's see. Okay, Michelle, go into the Shibboleth new member fast track group. Okay, and what I ate for my first 20 days is marked in there as an announcement, and my top 10 favorite meal replacements are also marked in there as an announcement. Yep, you're going to find it right there. Awesome. Bye, everybody. Have a great night. You're welcome, Deborah.